Condensed Bat-Supe in 30 seconds. January is National Blood Donor Month, but the need for blood is constant. From accident victims and cancer patients to premature babies and those with blood disorders, your one blood donation can help save the lives of multiple people. Make a difference in the lives of others. Give blood through the American Red Cross to help hospital patients. Call 1-800-RED-CROSS or visit redcrossblood.org today.
The following is transcribed.
Welcome to Condensed Bat-Supe. Now with 66% fewer superheroes than our regular podcast, which makes Condensed Bat-Supe even less nutritious, but still just as delicious. We're featuring episodes of the adventures of Superman without the caped crusaders. Tie on your capes for lots of misplaced trust, plenty of incriminating evidence, and legal bullying galore. In this edition of Condensed Bat-Supe, we continue the story of Al Vincent's corrupt political machine with Chapter 7, as originally broadcast on May 29th, 1946.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Today, Jimmy Olsen has momentarily blocked Mary Hennig's attempts to secure the Martin Higgins letters, and at the same time has placed himself in imminent danger.
Hello there, gang. This is your pal Dan McCullough. People who know say that it's a mighty tough job to handle your schoolwork all morning unless you've had a good, solid sort of breakfast. And people who know what's good say that when Kellogg's Pep heads the breakfast menu, you're bound to want to eat hearty. Yes, sir, Kellogg's Pep sure does give your appetite the old 1-2, because it looks so good in the first place, all golden and toasted and crisp, and because Pep tastes so sunny and inviting. You know, Kellogg's Pep is called the Sunshine Cereal. It's packed to the brim with full, smooth sunshine flavor. Every time you dig down in those crunchy, delicate flakes, your spoon comes up with mighty keen eating that tastes like more. Why, before you know it, you've polished off every last flake in your bowl. And a good thing that is, too, because the cereal grains have been picked out to give that swell grain nourishment to fellows and girls all over the world. So get hep to Pep, gang. Don't waste it. When Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's, take special pains to make sure there's no waste at your house. Handle with care is the idea if you pour your own cereal. And eat up every bit you pour out. Always eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
Now, the Adventures of Superman. So far, only Clark Kent has expressed even the slightest hint of suspicion regarding 15-year-old Mary Hennig, a seemingly nice girl who was actually a tough juvenile delinquent known as Chickie. Lois Lane doesn't dream that Mary, playing on her sympathies, used her to get a job on the Daily Planet, where she learned that a packet of letters exposing the dishonesty of corrupt politicians for whom she was sent to spy was expected in the first mail delivery at the newspaper office. Reporting this to her boss, Mary was forced under threat of exposure for past crimes and the prospect of being sent to a reform school to attempt to steal the incriminating evidence. Arriving at the Planet offices before any of the others, Mary was about to go through the mail when Jimmy Olsen came in, gathered it all up, and asked her to help him sort it. As we continue today, Jim, his arms filled with packets of mail, is just entering Editor Perry White's empty office. A step behind him, Mary, desperate, her eyes gleaming wickedly, is just withdrawing a heavy, flat metal object from her handbag.
I'll dump this stuff on Mr. White's desk, and you can help me sort it, Mary.
Sure. I'll help you, Jim.
As the young reporter deposits the mail on Perry White's desk, Mary, making no sound, moves up behind him. Raising the metal object in her hand, she is about to bring it down on Jim's unsuspecting head when suddenly a spasm of frustrated fury contorts her face.
Who's that?
Huh? Who's what?
Who just come into the city room?
Sounds like it might be Mr. White and Mr. Ken.
Oh, of all the dirty breaks.
What?
Oh, nothing.
Say, what's the matter with you?
Who, me? What do you mean?
Oh, I don't know. You looked awfully funny just now.
Funny, Jim?
Yeah, real tough. You talk tough, too.
Oh, that was only an act. You know, just for laughs.
Laughs, huh? I had a feeling that you...
That what, Jim?
Oh, just skip it.
I
now.
told Jim to check the mail, but like you, I couldn't wait to see for myself if the... Oh, there you are, Olson.
Yeah, good morning, Chief.
Jim, did you find any...
Hello, Jim.
Say, what are you doing here so early, young lady?
Yes, you're not supposed to be here till after school, Mary.
Oh, I know, sir, but... Well, there's no school today, and I thought I might be able to make myself useful.
Now, look here. I didn't get up in the middle of the night to stand here gabbing. What about that package of Higgins letters? You find it yet?
No, we were just going to go through the mail.
Well, come on, all of us. Kent, and you too, Mary.
Yes, sir.
Let's all go through this batch of mail and find the envelope.
Okay, I'll take this bunch. Here's one for you, Chief.
Oh,
Here, Mary, you look through these.
Tony said he mailed them addressed to me in a long white envelope.
A long envelope?
Yeah, that's right. He mailed it about 8:30 last night, so it ought to be here. It's got to be.
Here.
Look, good.
Oh, no, this is from the bank.
Oh, Olson, don't do that to me.
I think this is it.
Where?
Well, let's see.
Yes, it is. There's a note from Tony inside, and what's more...
Huh? How do you know, Mr. Kent?
Huh? How?
Here, give me that envelope and
why,
stop acting like an idiot, Kent.
Okay, take it easy.
Trying
Wait a
to
minute,
read
you'll tear
through it. Who do you think you are, Superman?
Well, if you really want to know...
Oh, stop it. Why can't I get this confounded envelope open? There.
Are they the Higgins letters, Chief?
Now, let's see. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, they certainly are. Here, listen to this.
What?
Dear Marty, enclosed you will find a check for the 20 grand you asked for. If it helps maintain our prosperity, it will be well worth it. Here's to a successful campaign, your friend George Conroy.
George Conroy? Isn't he the slot machine king?
That's right.
Yes, and he's making a $20,000 contribution to Higgins' campaign. Oh, boy, will this look good on our page one.
It certainly links Higgins with the racket.
And how? Boy, oh, boy, do we have him nailed now.
What's all the excitement about? Oh, good morning, Miss Lane. Good morning.
Morning, Lois. Look, the evidence against Higgins. All we need to smack him flatter than a postage stamp.
Oh, that's swell, Chief. Now we can... Why, Mary Hennig. I just realized that it was you who said good morning to me. What are you doing here?
Well,
never mind that now, Lois. Here, look at this. Here's a letter from the Williamson Realty Company. That's the outfit that owns all the slum tenements.
What do they say?
Oh, plenty. Listen. And in consideration of our substantial contribution, we hope for your continued support of our fight against the so-called slum clearance bill. How do you like that?
Oh, that's wonderful. When we print that one, it'll cost Mr. Higgins plenty of votes.
Who are the other letters from, Chief?
Let's see. Here's one from Earl Lake. That's the fellow who runs all the pool rooms. This one's from Mush Brown.
Mush Brown? Wow, that's a blue ribbon number.
Who's Mush Brown?
Nobody, just the man who runs the numbers racket.
No, wait, that's not all. Now, let's see. There are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 letters in all from as many unsavory characters.
All big shot racketeers.
Yes, what a haul.
Enough to put Mr. Higgins where we want him.
Yes, sir. Right behind the 8 ball.
Look, Chief, let's run one of these letters with a feature story on page 1 every day.
That's exactly what I plan to do. We'll start with the Conroy letter, Kent, so knock out 2 columns to go with it right away.
You bet. Have it ready to set up in an hour.
Good. Now, Lois, I want you to do a story on juvenile delinquency in the slums to prepare our readers for the Realty Company letter we'll run tomorrow.
Okay, Chief.
Make it clear how Higgins promotes juvenile delinquency by fighting the slum clearance bill.
Right.
Include all the details. Spare nothing and no one.
You want me, Chief?
Yes, I want you to take these Higgins letters and put them in our morgue.
What? In the morgue?
That's right, in the clippings morgue.
Are you kidding, Chief?
No, I'm not kidding you, young numbskull.
But
don't argue with me. Do as I say.
Okay, you're the boss.
You bet I am. I'm the boss because I'm smarter than you are. Because I realize that anyone desperate enough to attempt murder to get these letters isn't going to stop at cracking a puny off a safe.
Oh, I get it. You figure they'd never think to look in the morgue, so...
Yeah, exactly. Now go ahead. File them under H. Lock that file cabinet, bring the key back, and put it in the upper right-hand drawer in my desk.
Okay. But look, Chief, suppose someone has to use that file.
You tell them to come to me. If I'm not here, you'll know where to find the key. Now, you go with whoever wants it and see that they keep their hands off those letters.
Check.
Oh, I'll be glad when we have them photostated and in the hands of the DA.
Gee, so will I.
All right. Here, get going.
I'm on my way. Hey, what are you standing around here for?
Why,
Have you been here all the time, Mary?
Well, yes, sir. I thought maybe you'd have something for me to do, so
All right. Olson, go on about your business. Here, Mary, as long as you're anxious to do something, sort the rest of this mail and see that it is distributed.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's see if we can get some action around here. Within a few hours after Clark Kent, Lois Lane, and Perry White swing into action, the huge presses of the Daily Planet begin rolling with an account of Higgins' association with racketeers. The opening blast in the campaign to defeat the corrupt political powers which encouraged the development of juvenile delinquency in Metropolis. Later that day, after the Planet's first edition had been declared a sellout, Perry White is in the city room congratulating his staff on the fine job they had done when Jimmy Olsen announces an insistent caller.
I told him you were busy, Chief, but he insists he's got to see you on important official business.
Official business?
That's quite right, sir. You're Mr. Perry White, I take it.
Yes, but who are...
Aye, sir. I'm a process server here to serve you with a summons in a suit filed by Martin Higgins against you, sir, your publisher, John W. Grayson, and members of your staff, to wit, Clark Kent and Lois Lane, co-defendants.
What the idea?
Said suit claims $1 million damages for false and malicious slander against the plaintiff, Martin Higgins.
Wow.
Here you are, sir. Good day.
Momentarily stunned by the process server's announcement of Martin Higgins' counteroffensive against them, our friends stare at each other blankly as they realize how a $1 million slander suit can ruin not only the Daily Planet, but their campaign for clean government and good citizenship. What will happen? We'll know more in a moment, so stand by for the startling climax of today's episode.
Say, gang, if you want a slick dish that'll really bait your appetite tomorrow morning, try Date Bait. That's this week's Pep Dish of the Week. And it's a honey. What this dish does for breakfast. Just try it. First, you pour a layer of Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine cereal, in the bottom of your bowl. Top that with a layer of dates, cut in fairly small pieces. Then another layer of Pep, more dates, and so on until you're ready to add milk and pitch in. And that's Date Bait, this week's Pep Dish of the Week. Believe you me, those tender, crisp flakes of Kellogg's Pep are way out in front when it comes to tickling your taste. They're crunchy. They're full up with sparkling sunshine flavor. And they give you whole wheat nourishment plus. So Mom's glad when you eat up every bit of Kellogg's Pep in your bowl. What's more, nobody wants to waste cereal, especially nowadays when we're sending the cereal grains to fellows and girls overseas. Keep that in mind when Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's. Don't waste it. If you pour your own Pep, pour it carefully and eat up every bit you pour out. And say, kind of keep watch on your younger brothers and sisters, too. Remember, eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
Frantic with worry, Perry White, Lois Lane, and Jim Olsen feel as though the world is toppling about their ears as a result of Martin Higgins' $1 million slander suit against them. When suddenly, Kent breaks the tension by chuckling.
Hey, wait a minute. It's ridiculous for us to sit here worrying when all we have to do is present those letters and evidence of what we've said about Higgins, and the case will be thrown out of court.
Why, George, you're right, Kent.
Of course. How silly of us not to have thought of that before.
Well, come on. Let's go to the morgue where I told Jimmy to hide those letters. I'd like to have another look at them to ease my blood pressure.
Okay, I'll show you where they are. Follow me. There it is. The H file.
Imagine the nerve of that Higgins guy, pulling a stupid bluff like this.
Maybe he doesn't know we've got the letters.
Oh, he knows, all right. I'm sure of that. This is just a bluff to confuse the voters and frighten us.
Well, we'll scotch his little game right now. I'm going right over to the DA's office with these letters and...
Oh, wait a minute, Chief.
Well, what's the matter?
Jim, you sure you put those Higgins letters in this file?
Oh, sure I did, Mr. Kent. Then I locked it and put the key in the chief's desk, like he told me to.
Have you got the key, Chief?
Well, yes. Here it is, but...
What are you driving at, Clark?
We'll see in just a minute. Open the file, Chief.
All right, but for Pete's sake, Kent, I wish you wouldn't act like this. You make me nervous.
You talk like you don't think the letters are there, Mr.
Don't
Kent.
even suggest that, Jim.
Well, Chief?
Great Scott. The letters are gone.
His face drained of color. Too shocked even to question how Clark Kent knew the letters were missing from the locked file, Perry White stares helplessly at Kent, Lois, and Jimmy, all of whom now realize they are at the mercy of Martin Higgins, with even Superman powerless to help. What has happened to the vital letters, the evidence upon which rests the fate of the Daily Planet and the welfare of the people of Metropolis? Tomorrow's episode tells the dramatic story, so don't miss it. Tune in, same time, same station.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at the same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal. Say, gang, if you've ever had a race with your dog, you know how much he enjoys running and jumping. Now, dogs are like people. To keep their muscles strong, they have to eat right. So if you want to help your dog stay in the groove, to have strong bones and teeth and muscles, just mix Kellogg's Grow-Pup dog food in with the scraps of meat and fat you give him. There are 3 kinds of Grow-Pup, all with a grand, meaty flavor. There's Grow-Pup Ribbon, Grow-Pup Meal, and Grow-Pup Pellets. Ask your mother to feed your dog Kellogg's Grow-Pup regularly. And be sure to be with us tomorrow for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
And now, faster than a speeding bullet, Condensed Bat-Supe proudly presents Chapter 8 of Al Vincent's Corrupt Political Machine, which was originally broadcast on May 30th, 1946.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P, Pep. Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman. Today, Clark Kent and his friends at the Daily Planet are dumbfounded, for the important Higgins letters, placed so carefully in their files, have suddenly and mysteriously vanished.
Hello there, gang. This is your pal Dan McCullough. Say, talk about getting around. You can't beat Kellogg's Pep. Why, just Pep with milk and sugar starts off thousands of breakfasts every morning. And this week's Pep Dish of the Week is catching on, too. It's Date Bait, a mighty smooth combination. How about trying it tomorrow morning? All you do is to put a layer of Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine Cereal, in the bottom of your bowl. Scatter the top with a few pieces of dates, cut into fairly small pieces. Then another layer of Pep, more dates, and on up until you're ready to add milk and pitch in. How those tender flakes of Kellogg's Pep do liven up this breakfast dish. That keen sunshine flavor sure does rise and shine. Makes you want to concentrate on all that good eating until you've finished off every bit. And that's the way it should be, because it's not a good idea to waste cereal, particularly nowadays when we're sending the cereal grains to fellows and girls around the world. So, gang, when Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's, make sure there's no waste at your house. If you pour your own Pep, pour it carefully and polish off every bit you pour out. Pass the word along to the rest of your family, too. Always make sure to eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
Now, the adventures of Superman. In possession of letters proving that Martin Higgins, candidate for mayor of Metropolis, is associated with gangsters and racketeers, Clark Kent wrote the opening blast in the Daily Planet's campaign against the evil influences represented by Higgins. But the paper was not long on the street before the editor, publisher, and 2 star reporters of the Planet were made co-defendants in a lawsuit for $1 million brought against them by Higgins, who accused them of false and malicious slander. Secure in the belief that the letters in their possession would bear out their accusations and invalidate Higgins' suit, Perry White, Clark Kent, and Lois Lane were contemptuous of what they called an empty bluff. Just to satisfy themselves, they went to the clippings morgue, where Jim Olsen had hidden them, to have a look at the Higgins letters. And to their consternation and dismay, found them missing. As we continue today, we find Kent, Lois, and Jim in the editor's office after a thorough search of the premises had revealed no trace of the vital correspondence. White, his face drawn and haggard, is beside himself with anxiety. Listen.
Oh, I'm afraid we're late. Finished. Done.
Now, look, Chief.
Oh, let's face it, Kent. Without those letters to back up what we said about Higgins in today's paper, we lose our fight against his election. And he's a cinch to win his slander suit against us. Paying out $1 million will just about ruin the Planet. And me, too.
Oh, gee whiz.
Do you think a burglar hired by Higgins could have slipped in here and stolen the letters?
Oh, gosh, Miss Lane, how could anyone burgle a newspaper office in bright daylight?
Jim's right. This was obviously an inside job done by a Planet employee who slipped into the chief's office when he was out, took the key, stole the letters, and then put the key back in the desk drawer again so we wouldn't discover they were missing until we went to look for them.
Very neat theory, Hawkshaw, but as full of holes as a sieve.
For instance?
Well, to begin with, I've hardly been out of my office all day. Even had my lunch brought in.
Correction, please. You were out over half an hour this morning when you went downstairs for breakfast.
And you went to the art department with me to check on the How to Fight Juvenile Delinquency page. You remember?
Yes, I remember. But if anyone had gone into my office when I was out, Miss Backrack would have seen him. And she says that...
She says she didn't notice anyone go in. But then she never pays any attention to the copy boys when they run in and out of your office.
That's true.
Or any familiar staff members, for that matter.
Okay. Granted, that is true. There's still one big hole in your theory, Kent.
Like what?
Well, only a few of us knew where I told Jim to hide the letters. Do you think Lois or Jim or I took them out of the file cabinet?
Well, certainly not.
All right, then. Since we don't suspect ourselves, your whole theory is cockeyed.
Not a bit. I still insist it was an inside job, and there's only one other person who was definitely on the spot whom we haven't yet discussed.
Well, who's that?
The new office girl, Mary Hennig.
Now, see here, Clark.
Hey, that's right. She was standing with us, Chief.
Now that you mention it, I do remember being surprised to find that she was sticking around.
Clark Kent, how could you be so despicable as to accuse a sweet, innocent girl like Mary of being a thief?
Now, wait a minute, Lois. Wait a minute. I haven't accused her yet. I simply included her as a suspect.
Well, how could you even do that?
Because two very strange things have happened in this office within the past 24 hours. First, Al Vincent is tipped off that his place is to be raided. Then, by a strange coincidence, some letters which affect Vincent's partner in crime mysteriously disappear.
Hey, that does seem strange. Especially since that Hennig girl was here with us when we discussed both those deals.
Well, but so what, Chief? Clark himself admitted that it was a coincidence, and I don't think it's fair to suspect her any more than anyone of us.
Now, just a minute, Lois. This thing is too serious to overlook any possibilities. I think Henderson or one of his detectives should investigate Mary.
Yeah, so do I.
Oh, no, Jim. Don't you see what that would do to the poor kid?
Relax, Lois. If she's innocent, nothing will happen to her. I'd like to have a talk with her. She's still here, Jim?
She went home at 6 o'clock.
Look, Kent, maybe Lois is right. Maybe the kid's okay.
All right, if she is, I'll apologize and there'll be no harm done. But first, I'm going to have a talk with Mary Hennig at her home. I'll see you all later.
As Clark Kent leaves, determined to investigate and talk with Mary Hennig in her home, the young girl tough is with Al Vincent, the crooked pawnbroker who employs juvenile delinquents to make money for him. In response to an urgent summons from Martin Higgins, his business partner and political front, Vincent has brought Mary, also known as Chickie, to Higgins' home, an old but sumptuous brownstone house on the fringe of the tenement district.
So you're Mary Hennig, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
We call her Chickie, Marty. Chickie, you're talking to the next mayor
Not so fast, Al. Not so fast. We're in trouble again.
Well, what do you mean? I thought everything was Jake when Chickie here lifted them letters out of the planet.
That's just it. She didn't get all the letters.
What?
Are you kidding?
I wish I were.
Look, what kind of a deal are you trying to pull?
Now, wait, Chickie. That's no way to talk to the next mayor.
I don't care who he is. Nobody's going to tell me I didn't get all them letters because I know I did.
And I tell you didn't. There's one missing. The one from Mush Brown, the slot machine king. Thanking me for all I've done for him and mentioning a $25,000 contribution to my campaign fund.
Hey, that's bad.
Yeah, it's worse than you think. If that letter is still in the Daily Planet's possession, my $1 million lawsuit is all washed up. Because I can't prove slander.
And how?
Yeah, and what's more, my chances for election are, well, they're sunk.
Hey, how do you know you didn't lose that letter?
You got a lot of nerve saying that?
Well, all I know is that
You stupid little punk. I ought to knock your teeth out for messing up this job.
Hold it, Al, hold it. Maybe Chickie's telling the truth when she says she got all the letters. Yeah, maybe you're holding one of them out on me.
What? Hey, now, wait a minute.
It'll make an awfully good instrument for blackmail. You know that the planet could save its hide if it had that one letter. And you also know that they'd pay plenty for it. You could be figuring to double-cross me and sell it to them.
Why, you're kidding, Marty. Why, you must be kidding. Why, we're partners. We're pals. You know I wouldn't do nothing like that to you.
Well, I think you would if you thought you could get away with it. But I also think you're too smart to try it, because, you know, if I really thought you did it, I'd...
Oh, cut it out, Marty. I turned over all the letters Chickie brought me. She must have forgot this one from Mush or lost it.
Don't you go passing the buck to me, you
Oh, wait
yellow...
a minute. Chickie, what did you do when you took the letters from Mr. White's safe?
I made out like I was going to lunch and met Al around the corner. I gave them to him. All of them.
All right. How did you get the letters out of Mr. White's office and out of the building?
I took some newspaper proofs into Mr. White's office, like I was sent in with them. I was watching and seen he went to the art department with Miss Lane just before. So I got the key to the file out of his desk, lifted the papers, and put them in between the proofs. Then I put the key back and went to Miss Lane's office. After that,
You could have dropped one of the letters when you were leaving Mr. White's office,
I didn't, or they'd have found it. When they saw the filing cabinet was empty, they tore up the whole place.
All right, go on. Now, you say you went to Miss Lane's office.
Yeah.
Just what did you do there? Come on, try to remember everything.
I remember. I snitched a big envelope out of her desk and went in a closet where she told me I could hang my coat. I put the letters in the envelope and slipped it under my coat.
Is it possible that you might have dropped one of the letters in Miss Lane's closet, Chickie, when you were putting them in the envelope?
Yeah, how about that, Chickie? Think one of them could have dropped out when you were shoving the batch of them into your coat?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Don't think so. You gotta make sure.
Well, how can I?
Only one way, stupid. Go back to the planet and take a gander in that closet.
Oh, look, Al, I can't
Go on, do like I say, or I'll turn you over to the cops.
Okay. I'll go right now.
Yeah?
Al, this is Chickie.
Well?
Listen, I'm calling from the planet.
Yeah.
I found the letter.
Swell.
It was in the closet where I must have dropped it.
Okay, hustle it over to Higgins' house, fast.
Yeah, I'm leaving right now.
Oh, no, you're not.
Miss Lane.
I heard your conversation, Mary.
Stay away from me, Miss Lane.
I'm wise to you now. You two-faced little thief.
I warn you, Miss Lane.
You had me completely fooled.
Stand where you are and let me pass. Oh, so help me, I'll let you have it.
Crouched and ready to spring, Mary Hennig wraps her hand around a heavy paperweight and glowers menacingly at Lois Lane, who, shocked at suddenly learning that her protege is a thieving juvenile delinquent, stands rooted to the floor, her eyes blazing with justifiable anger. Will Chickie make good her threat? We'll know in a moment when we return for the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
Say, gang, you know something that'll make you want to put on speed while you're getting ready for breakfast? It's Kellogg's Pep. Yes, sir. If you know there's a bowl of Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine cereal, waiting for you, you're likely to show up at breakfast on the double quick. Because who can resist that keen sunshine flavor? Who can put off sampling that crisp, mouth-watering tenderness? Who can delay when Kellogg's Pep is such a smooth treat? And who wants to resist Pep? Because Pep is good for you, too. Sure, gives you loads of solid whole wheat nourishment plus. So you're on the Sunbeam gang if you pitch right in and finish off every tender flake in your bowl. That's especially important nowadays, you know. It's not a good idea to waste cereal. Because the cereal grains, like the whole wheat and Kellogg's Pep, have been picked out to give that swell grain nourishment to fellas and girls all over the world. Keep that in mind when Mom brings Kellogg's Pep home from the grocer's. Make sure there's no waste at your house. If you pour your own Pep, take it easy. Pour it carefully and eat up every bit you pour out. Tip off the rest of your family, too. Get the right habit, gang. Eat all your Pep. Don't waste it.
Trapped by Lois Lane in the Daily Planet's deserted editorial offices, Mary Hennig, desperate, menaces the girl reporter with a heavy paperweight.
You better let me out of here, Miss Lane.
Oh, no. Not since I know now that Clark was right. It was you who tipped off Al Vincent about the raid and then stole the Higgins letters, wasn't it?
You can't prove nothing like that.
That letter in your hand, the one I heard you tell someone you came back for, is all the proof we need. Now give it to me, Mary.
Nothing doing.
I said give it to me, you nasty little
Get away from me.
I'm going to make you pay for pulling the wool over my eyes. Now,
I warned you. I said I was going to let you have it.
Oh.
Breathing hard, Mary Hennig looks down at the limp form of Lois Lane lying motionless on the floor where she had dropped. Swiftly, the young tough's spent anger turns to horror, and she trembles like a leaf as it occurs to her that this time, as all who follow careers of crime inevitably do, she may have gone too far. This may be murder. What has happened to Lois Lane? And what will happen now to the planet's fight against the influences that lead to juvenile delinquency? Don't miss one moment of tomorrow's exciting episode, whatever you do. Tune in tomorrow and every day, same time, same station.
And remember, for breakfast, it's Kellogg's Pep.
For excitement, the adventures of Superman.
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC comic magazines and is brought to you Monday through Friday at this same time by Kellogg's Pep, the Sunshine cereal. Say, gang, you know what fun it is to make your dog sit up and beg for something good to eat? Well, if you want to make sure your dog gets a good dinner that'll help keep him strong and husky, ask your mother to give him Kellogg's Grow Pup dog food. If you feed Grow Pup to your dog along with the scraps of meat and fat, he ought to get along just fine. That kind of eating will help give him strong bones and teeth and muscles. There's Grow Pup Ribbon, Grow Pup Meal, and Grow Pup Pellets. Just see which your dog likes best and ask Mother to feed it to him regularly. Remember, that's Kellogg's Grow Pup. And be sure to be with us tomorrow for the thrilling adventures of Superman. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
It's time for a Condensed Bat-Supe Extra Helping, because sometimes it takes a hero to help a hero. We'll visit Honest Harold, starring Harold Peary. Harold has been asked to head up a local Red Cross blood drive in Melrose Springs. He's starting things off with a first aid class where he might end up patching up more than imaginary wounds in a show originally broadcast on March 7th, 1951.
The Harold Peary Show. And now, Harold Peary as Honest Harold, the homemaker. Well, let's look in on the little town of Melrose Springs, home of that popular radio entertainer, Honest Harold. Although New Year's is long since past, Harold has just made a resolution. He's through with women.
You said it.
Especially a certain woman, Florabelle Breckenridge.
That's the one, all right. She's fickle.
It's morning now, and the new Honest Harold is just finishing breakfast.
Oh, Harold, I'm sure you'll make up with Florabelle again.
No, I won't, Mother. Not after the way she stood me up in the moose room last Saturday night and went dancing off with that skinny Texan.
Well, I'm sure she didn't mean anything.
My Mother, we hadn't even finished our dinners. I had to eat both desserts. And I hate peach cobbler.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yes, sir. Florabelle will just have to learn she can't toy with my affections. She thinks I'm going to be at her beck and call. She's got another thing coming.
You're going to miss her, Harold. Florabelle is such an attractive girl.
Well, in a way.
She looked so lovely the last time you took her out in her off-the-shoulder taffeta.
Yeah?
And her beautiful blonde hair.
Uh-huh.
And her big blue eyes.
Zeef, please, Mother.
Suppose she phones you, son. What shall I tell her?
Phones me? Well, just tell her I'm not in. She thinks I'm going to jump every time. Oop, there's the telephone. Excuse me, Mother. Oh, didn't mean to knock the chair over. I'll get it. Bumped my head. I'll be right back, Mother. Hello, Florabelle? Huh? Who's this? A survey? What's my favorite radio program? What do you think? Goodbye.
Was that Florabelle?
No, Mother.
Harold, why don't you call her?
No, I won't. I'm just going to let her suffer.
Good morning, Station KHJP. Mr. Peabody, I'll connect you.
Good morning, Glory.
Oh, good morning, Harold. Have you and Florabelle made up yet?
No, we haven't. And please understand this, Gloria. I'm not in the least bit interested in that young lady. It's all over. C'est fini.
Say what?
That's French, Gloria.
Oh, Harold, do you mean you're not the least bit interested in Florabelle?
That's right.
Well, what would you say if I told you that she's been phoning you every 10 minutes?
Well, maybe I'll drop by and see her. She's really been phoning me every 10 minutes?
No, I just wanted to see what you'd say.
That was a sneaky trick, Gloria.
Oh, I'm sorry, Harold.
Oh, well, that's all right.
Oh, I forgot. Mr. Peabody wants to see you in his office.
Oh, one blow after another. Wonder what my dear boss wants.
Je ne sais pas, bon ami.
What?
That's French, Harold.
That's terrible, Gloria. I'll see you later. Well, might as well see what Peabody wants. Probably wants to share his yogurt cocktail with me.
Enter.
Enter. What a prissy pants. Do you want to see me, Stanley?
Just a moment, Hemp. Can't you see I'm drying my pen wiper?
Pardon me.
And will you please stop that hissing? You're scaring my tropical fish.
I hate him.
Hemp, I received a letter this morning about you.
Oh, is that crank in Charlieville complaining about my singing upsetting his chickens again?
No. This letter's from the Red Cross.
Red Cross? Didn't they like my blood?
I don't know, Hemp. They've asked me to put you in charge of the Red Cross Fund Drive in Melrose Springs.
Me?
Yes. They've heard your public interest projects on your radio program, and they feel you're just the man for the job.
Well.
And I must say I agree with them. Harold?
You do? Well, thank you, Stanley. Fine fellow.
And just to start your campaign off with a bang, here's my check for $50.
Well, thanks very much. What an admirable character.
Glad to do it, Harold. And good luck. I know you'll make a fine showing.
Well, I'll do my best. See you later, Stanley. Well, Stanley was certainly nice today. Gosh, it'd be awful if I got to like him. Oh, well, I can hate him again after the Red Cross drive. This Red Cross literature certainly opens your eyes. They sure do a lot of good things. Give aid in all sorts of disasters, financial assistance to servicemen and veterans. They train 20 million first aiders.
Harold.
Yes, Mother?
Lunch is almost ready.
All right. Mother, I'm just trying to think of some way to show the people what the Red Cross does. Let's see. Maybe I could organize a first aid class. I could be the instructor.
You, Harold.
Well, I was pretty good at bandaging when I was a Boy Scout.
Oh, yes. I remember the time you bandaged the scoutmaster to a tree.
Yeah. Well, I think I will get up a first aid class, Mother. We can have it tonight, right here in the living room.
All right.
I've got this Red Cross booklet to help me. And for a start, we'll pretend we all have sprained wrists, huh? Then we can pair off in partners and bandage each other.
I think I'll invite Mr. Walker for my partner.
Mother? Are you still sweet on that laughing hyena?
Oh, Harold, you don't really know him. He has a lot of hidden charm.
Yeah, it's hidden, all right. Probably keeps it under that beard. Well, all right. You can invite Mr. Walker, Mother. But remember, this is a first aid class, not a romance clinic.
Oh, yes, Harold. It's too bad Florabelle isn't coming tonight.
Florabelle?
She might be very interested in first aid.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't ever going to see her again.
Oh, but this is different, Harold. As you say, this is a first aid class, not a romance clinic.
Well, that is right. Guess I ought to invite her. I shouldn't let my pride stand in the way of doing a good job.
Oh, that's right, son.
In fact, I might drop over and ask her today, right now. For the good of the campaign, of course.
Of course, Harold.
See you later, Mother. Hope Florabelle is in. Because you'll have to understand that this is strictly a business call.
Coming.
She's home. Steady, Harold.
Why, Harold, what a delightful surprise. Come on in.
Miss Breckenridge? What I have to say can be said right here.
All right.
But if you insist, I'll come in.
You haven't been over to see me for a long time, Tootsie Roll.
Florabelle, I want you to understand that this is not a social call.
Oh?
Strictly business. I've just been appointed director of the Red Cross Drive in Melrose Springs.
Yes, I heard about that, Harold. And I think it's just wonderful.
Thank you. And I'm conducting a first aid class at my house tonight, and I just thought maybe you'd like to attend.
I'd love to come over to your house tonight, Tootsie Roll.
Now, this doesn't mean that I'm making up with you, Florabelle. Miss Breckenridge, it's just that I consider it my public duty to invite you.
Oh, Harold.
Well, see you at the first aid class. My house, 8 o'clock. Bring your own mercurochrome.
Harold, I've never been to a first aid class before. What are we supposed to do?
Do? Well, we choose partners and then bandage each other.
Oh, sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, better be going.
Harold, couldn't you and I have a little practice in first aid beforehand?
Huh?
Let's just pretend you're the patient and I'm the nurse, and I'm going to take your pulse.
Pulse? Well,
Now, come close to me, Harold.
All right.
Now, let me hold your hand. There. Well, I declare, your pulse is chugging away like the Chattanooga choo-choo.
It is? Well, clear the track. Choo-choo-choo-choo-choo-choo.
I bet if I were to kiss you, it would even go faster than that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll try it tonight.
Oop.
See you tonight, Harold.
Yeah. Well, guess I better be going.
Oh, Harold, I forgot something.
What's that, Florabelle?
Here's my check for the Red Cross.
Yeah, thanks. And here's something for you.
Oh, Harold.
That's your receipt. Hey, I like this Red Cross work. First aid class sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun tonight with Florabelle there. Say, maybe I can put a Band-Aid around her finger. No, better not. She'll think we're engaged.
Hello, Harold.
Oh, hello, Doc.
Howdy, boy.
How are you, Pete?
Congratulations on your Red Cross job.
Thanks. By the way, you're both invited to my house tonight. We're going to have a Red Cross first aid class.
Oh, well, I'll be there, boy. Since I'm a veterinarian, Harold, I suppose you want me to be the instructor.
Well, thanks, Doc, but I'm going to be the teacher.
All right, Harold.
Now, Doc, you can be my assistant.
Oh, good. I'll bring my distemper serum.
Yeah, you better do that.
What are we going to do at the class, Harold?
Well, I thought we'd pair off in twos and practice bandaging and things like that.
Who you going to pair off with, boy?
Oh, I'll probably have Florabelle for my partner.
Hope I get a pretty partner.
Oh, you will, Doc. You got Pete.
Oh, now, Doc. You can just close your eyes and imagine that I'm Yvonne DeCarlo.
Carload.
You have a cold, Yvonne?
Nope, there's not a cough in a carload.
Oh, brother.
Ain't that a doozy, though?
You're a couple of doozies. See you tonight, Yvonne. Well, Mother, got everything all laid out for our first aid class tonight. How does it look?
Just fine, son. And you look very professional in that white coat.
Thanks. Borrowed this from the barber shop. Guess I better take these clippers out of the pocket.
And you've got everything laid out so neatly on the table.
Yeah, I think we've got everything we need here. Bandages, splints, adhesive tape, marmalade. Marmalade? Now, how did that get in there?
Oh, I wasn't wearing my glasses, Harold.
Huh?
I thought it was Vaseline.
Yeah.
Harold.
Huh?
Will you let me know when Mr. Walker gets here? I'm going to my room and print up a little.
Yeah. All right, Mother. What does Mother see in that old... Bet that's Florabelle. Come in.
Now you can start the party. Walker's walked in.
Ye gods, there he is.
Well, hello, Sonny.
Oh, hello, Mr. Walker.
Hey, you look pretty spiffy in that white coat.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Didn't know you was running a barber shop on the side.
What?
Am I next?
Now, look here, Walker.
Just give me an egg shampoo, Sonny. A little bacon on the side.
Hello, Mr. Walker.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Hemp.
Mr. Mr. Walker, would you like to see the Afghan I'm making?
Oh, I'd be delighted, ma'am. Strap your strap, Sonny. I'll be back for a shave later.
Something tells me that laughing hyena is going to give me trouble tonight. I'd like... Hey, got a wonderful idea. I'll use him for my bandage demonstration. I'll put so many bandages on him, he'll look like a mummy. That ought to keep him quiet.
Hello, Harold.
Hello, Doc.
Evening, boy.
Hello, Harold.
Hello, Flora Belle.
Oh, my, you look dignified in that white coat. Just like a doctor in those cigarette ads, always testing T-zones and things.
The class will now come to order. Mother, Mr. Walker.
Yeah, coming, Sonny.
You start without me, son. I'll make some hot cocoa for the intermission.
Quiet, folks, quiet. Your attention, please. First, I'm going to demonstrate the various types of bandaging. I'd like someone to be my patient. Anybody at all. How about you, Mr. Walker?
Me? You betcha. I'm your boy, Sonny.
Here's where I get 'em. First, I will demonstrate, folks, how to apply a leg splint. We put the splints on the leg like this.
Yeah, just a minute, Junior.
What?
You're doing that all wrong.
How do you know?
How do I know? I was a pharmacist mate in the Spanish-American War. That's how I know. Now, let me show you how it's done. Lie down.
Yep, but...
Lie down, Sonny.
Well, okay, but...
That's it. Now, students, here's the way the splint should be applied. I'll slap one on this side here, and slap the other one here.
Watch where you're slapping, Walker.
Then you take the bandage and you wrap it around and around and around. There. Now, that's the way you apply a leg splint, Sonny.
Well, that's fine. Now, will you please take this thing off my leg, Walker?
Say, as long as you're down there, might as well bandage the other one.
Zoink.
And the bandage goes round and round. Well, there's the other leg.
Well, that's wonderful.
All right, Mr. Walker, now you can take off the bandages. I can't move.
Good. Now for your arm.
What?
Might as well bandage your head, too. That's the weak part. There you are, bandaged from head to foot.
He sure is. I declare, boy, you look just like that King Tut.
Peekaboo, Harold. Are you in there?
Naturally, I'm in here. I can't get up. Will somebody get me out?
Hot chocolate's ready.
Oh, intermission. Let's eat.
What?
Take my arm, Miss Flora Belle.
Flora Belle?
Oh, now don't you worry, Tootsie Roll. I'll be back after a while.
But...
Don't go away, Sonny.
We will return for the second act of our story, Honest Harold, in just a moment. Two headline attractions are coming your way on CBS later this evening. Judy Garland will make one of her joyful guest appearances on The Bing Crosby Show. Then CBS will bring you the world's heavyweight championship fight between defender Ezzard Charles and challenger Jersey Joe Walcott. Judy Garland and Bing, the Ezzard Charles-Joe Walcott bout. CBS cordially invites you to hear them both on most of these same stations later this evening. And now back to Harold Peary as Honest Harold, the homemaker. Well, Harold's first aid class didn't work out so well last night, but this morning he's back on the job as director of the Red Cross Fund drive. Right now, we find him at the radio station, just finishing his daily homemaker's broadcast.
A woman likes to be told that she never will grow. And the more and more you tell her, more and more you will discover. A woman likes to be told, oh, A woman likes to be told. And so, till tomorrow morning at the same time, girls, this is Honest Harold signing off. And remember, if we all do our part, we can put this Red Cross drive over the top in Melrose Springs. So long until tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Yasha. So long, boys.
Hello, Harold.
Doc, what are you doing down here, you old mule medico?
Well, I got something to discuss with you. I wanted to talk to you last night at the first aid class, but you was all tied up.
Please, Doc, cut out the comedy, and I use the word loosely.
Oh. Well, Harold, I got a great idea to help your Red Cross drive.
Oh, what's that?
Well, as Red Cross director, why don't you organize a flood emergency plan?
Flood emergency? What for?
Well, to be prepared in case Boomer Dam breaks.
Doc, you know that Boomer Dam breaks every year. Nothing ever happens except a few chicken coops get carried away. It's not serious.
Well, it would be if you was a chicken. What I mean is, Harold, we could act like there's a flood, you see. We could organize a Red Cross disaster team, show the people how it'd work.
Hey, that might not be a bad idea, Doc.
Oh, thank you, Harold. Why, we could hold a demonstration right on Main Street, pretend it's flooded. Then we'd come rushing to the rescue in a boat. I'll bet everybody in town would turn out to watch that.
Doc, that sounds wonderful. Let's have the demonstration tonight. We can use that rowboat that's down in my cellar. I'll be the captain, naturally, since it's my boat. And you and Pete can be the crew. Huh?
All right. Say, we can get the Elks Band to play Over the Waves.
Yeah.
And we can put a few mackerel in the boat.
Mackerel?
Yeah, that'd give it a sort of a sea air.
Certainly would. Well, here are your orders, Mate Yancey. Report to my cellar for lifeboat drill at 3 bells.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Neither wind nor sleet nor stormy seas will stop us. We sail tonight.
Aye, aye, sir. Sailing, sailing over the bounding Main
Street. All right, fellas, it's getting late. I'll go over the plans once more.
All right, Harold.
Are you listening, Pete?
Oh, I'm all ears, boy.
You sure are. Now, look, my cellar here is emergency station number 1.
Station number 1. Let me write that down.
Never mind, Pete. And remember, 6 o'clock is 0 hour. That's when we simulate that Boomer Dam breaks. Now, we go into action when we hear the signal. The signal is the 6 o'clock whistle at the mattress factory.
And that's when we man our stations and rush over to Main Street with the rowboat.
That's right, Doc. And we're supposed to make it down there in 3 minutes. Now, let's have a little rehearsal, huh? Pete, you're the lookout. Now, when the whistle blows, you run in and give us the go sign. Here we go. Toot, toot. Pete, toot, toot.
Oh, toot, toot to you too, boy.
No, I was the whistle.
Oh, man the stations, man. Emergency.
Well, okay. Now, remember that. Now, that's when we pick up the boat and rush out of the cellar with it.
Yeah, let me write that down.
Never mind. Pete, will you go up to your post?
Yeah, okay, Captain.
Now, it's almost time. Let's synchronize our watches, Doc. See, I got 5 minutes to 6. What time do you have?
One of us is wrong. I got 11:45.
Why don't you wind that turnip sometime? Now, look, I better make sure that Pete's up there outside the door listening for the signal. Pete, are you up there?
I sure am, boy.
All right. Gosh, I hope this demonstration goes all right.
Oh, now don't you worry, Harold. With Pete and me to help you, it can't go wrong.
Uh-huh.
Are you down there, Tootsie Roll?
Oh, hello, Flora Belle.
Oh, hello, Dr. Yancey.
Good evening, Miss Flora Belle.
Oh, Harold, I'm so excited. You should see the big crowd downtown waiting for my big hero.
Well, guess anybody could do it. Maybe.
Oh, Captain Ham?
Yeah?
Later on tonight, why don't you sail over to my house? We'll take a little pleasure cruise in your sloop.
Okay. I'll salute over about 9 o'clock.
See you later, Tootsie Roll.
Goodbye.
3, 2, 1. 2 minutes to go, Harold.
What? Oh, yes. Now, let's make a last-minute check of the boat. See if we got everything. Let's see. First aid book, bandages, marmalade. Marmalade? I gotta get Mother some new bifocals.
Hiya, Sonny.
Ye gods, old man Walker.
What you doing down there in the cellar?
I'm a mushroom.
Oh, look more like a Brussels sprout.
Very funny.
Uh-oh. Harold, there's the whistle.
Yeah, Pete, that's a signal.
What? Oh, man the stations, man, the emergency.
All right, crew, grab a hold of the boat.
Aye, aye, sir.
Me, sir.
Cut it out, Pete. Come on, lift her up.
Here we
Get out of the way up there, Walker. All right, now up the steps. Heave-ho. Here we go. Why, we'll be downtown before you can say, yike. What's the matter, fellas?
Harold.
What?
She won't go through the door, boy.
How did you get the boat out of the cellar the last time?
I didn't. Grandpa built it down here.
Looks like you missed the boat, Sonny.
Oh, shut up! Well, thank you anyway for all your help, Doc.
Oh, that's all right, Harold. Well, we finally got the boat out in the street anyway.
Yeah.
It's too bad we had to take some of the bricks out of the wall.
Well, doesn't matter. We always wanted an air-conditioned cellar anyway.
Well, we're over an hour late. You still want to take the boat downtown, Harold?
No, they'd only laugh at us, Doc. Old man Walker's probably down there right now telling everybody what happened. See the way he lit out of here? I've just let the Red Cross down, Doc.
Oh, now, Harold, you did your best.
No.
Fellas.
What do you want, Pete?
Hey, man the stations, man, emergency.
Pete, we're all through simulating.
I ain't stimulating, boy. Look at that water coming down the street.
Water?
He's right, Harold.
Gosh, did Boomer Dam really break?
No, but that big fire hydrant over on 2nd and Main did. What? And they need you down there with your boat right away.
Why, that's wonderful.
What happened, Pete?
Old man Walker was so anxious to get down and tell everybody about your trouble with the boat that he run into the hydrant and broke it off.
He did, eh?
It serves him right.
He's in 4 foot of water and hollering for you to bring the boat and rescue him.
Well, he is he? Yeah.
Look, Harold, the rowboat's floating.
Well, get in, crew. Man the oars, men. This is going to be a real demonstration. Red Cross team to the rescue.
Aye, aye, sir.
Ain't this a doozy?
Say, Mr. Walker will probably need a little first aid, fellas. Wait till I get through bandaging him. Maybe I can just rub on a little of this marmalade. Hey. Cruising down the river. Well, folks, we had a lot of fun with our simulated flood in Melrose Springs tonight. Didn't get a chance to rub on the marmalade, though. But as you all know, many serious floods and other disasters occur in our country every year. And your Red Cross has done a wonderful job in helping disaster victims with both emergency aid and long-term assistance in rebuilding shattered lives and homes. By last year alone, the Red Cross spent over $5 million in conducting 394 disaster relief operations. Remember, this is just one of the many Red Cross services. Others include assistance to servicemen and veterans, the National Blood Program, the Organization of Civil Defense, a national safety program which last year gave emergency care to thousands of American citizens, reducing injuries and saving lives. Folks, you need the Red Cross, and the Red Cross needs your help. So won't you open your heart and give, and please give generously.
You have just heard the Harold Peary Show, Honest Harold. The supporting players tonight included Jane Morgan, Parley Bayer, Cliff Arquette, Shirley Mitchell, Olin Soule, and featured Gloria Holliday as Gloria and Joseph Kearns as old Doc Yak Yak. Norman McDonald directed, and the music was composed and conducted by Jack Meakin.
Yasha Meakin.
Honest Harold, created by Harold Peary, was written by Gene Stone, Jack Robinson, and Dick Powell.
I typed it.
Through the years, the Red Cross has helped the victims of disaster, brought comfort to servicemen in camps and hospitals and to their families. Today, with the country rising to meet the challenge of aggression, the Red Cross has been asked by the government to undertake tremendous tasks. By giving generously to the Red Cross, you'll help mobilize for the defense of your families, your community, and the nation. Give as much as you can today. Now stay tuned for the Bing Crosby Show, which follows immediately on most of these same CBS stations. Bob Lamont speaking.
Good night, everybody. Good night, Bob.
Good night, Harold. This is CBS, where you thrill to suspense on Thursday night, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Well, that wraps up this episode of Condensed Bat-Supe, featuring the next 2 chapters of Al Vincent's Corrupt Political Machine, from the Adventures of Superman. Thank you for listening. Be sure to tell your friends to subscribe to Bat-Supe on their favorite podcatcher. We can also be found on YouTube and Facebook. We'll see you next time for another exciting edition of Condensed Bat-Supe as we bring you more of our current storyline and another fine Bat-Supe Extra Helping. Until then, up,
Are you going to write that letter today or put it off until tomorrow, or maybe the day after? How about that spring suit you plan to have altered? Will you take it to the tailor tomorrow morning bright and early, or will the week somehow glide by while the suit just hangs on in your closet? If you're a confessed procrastinator, you're not unique. The putting off habit can be mild or chronic, but some matters, serious matters, are highly dangerous to assign to mañana. One of the most important of these is getting protection from crippling, killing polio. When life-saving Salk vaccine was first introduced in 1955, it was hailed as a major medical discovery. Yet at the beginning of this current year, some 98 million Americans, the majority of our population, had not received even one inoculation. Why had all these people failed to take the simple measures necessary to gain protection from polio? If you were among them, this year, don't take a chance. Don't put off those polio shots any longer. Get in touch with your family doctor or local health department right away.